Good evening, everybody. 7:49 p.m. Sunday evening, September. I don't know, what is it? 17th. Anyway, I'm sitting here having my dinner, and I just feel like this information is coming to me, and I have to make this video, and I hope it's short because I just want to eat my sandwich. All right, so. Okay, how do I say this? I'm concerned, maybe God's concerned, maybe that people are not aware of what the New World Order is, which you are now in. The Great Reset, the New World Order. So I'm going to break it down for anyone who's not a Christian, or even for you Christians whose head is still in the sand like an ostrich. The New World Order is run by the elite. They are the rich people that have been running this country since it was founded. They are Freemasons. They are Satanists. Freemasons work with witchcraft. All witchcraft, whether white or black, is satanic. It is demonic. It is evil. It is no good according to the Bible. It should be avoided at all costs. Okay? These Freemason elite, and there's many different branches of them. Okay, you got the Bilderbergs, you got the Masons, you got the Shriners, yada yada yada. There's lodges all over the world, in every town and city. There's more Freemason lodges now than there are liquor stores and churches. Okay, so the Bible warns against these secret societies and not to join them. Anything done in secret is of the devil. God does everything out in the open. There's no secrets with God. There's nothing to hide. Your governments are now getting ready for the one world government. We're almost there. Over the next coming months and years, and it's moving very fast, a lot faster than many of us Christians who knew this was coming for our whole life anticipated. God did say He would speed up the end times, otherwise His very elect would be lost if that were possible. So here's what you need to know. This is what's coming to me, so I hope I get this out quickly and concisely. You need to understand what the New World Order is. It is the elites, okay, running the world. They are Satanists. They are evil, pedophile, Satanists, witches, demonic, child and human sex trafficking, wicked people in power who have all the money and power, who can do whatever they want in this world. They literally answer to Satan, the god of this world. For those of you who think that the devil is just a metaphor or a scary story, you are wrong. He is alive and well in human form, because he mocks and imitates Jesus. So he's got the son of the devil down here that the devil is living in the inside of, and he's a human being walking in the flesh behind the scenes. He will rule the entire world once the one world government is in full effect, the New World Order. It will be all the nations connected as one giant country, one world order, run by one president of the entire world, which will be the Antichrist, okay? Some say it's Obama, some say the false prophets, Pope Francis, whatever. The point is, this is happening, and it will continue to happen, and it will happen. It will be fulfilled, because Bible prophecy is true, and the Bible must be fulfilled. So, what's the point of this video? I'm telling you, both Christians and non-believers alike, recognize the signs of the time, which I think many of you do realize now, that the Bible's true, or that something's up, and you call yourselves woke, or you're waking up. But here's what I just realized tonight. It doesn't matter how many of us wake up and see what's going on. You can't stop it. We might be able to delay it, but we cannot stop it, because God said all Bible prophecy from Genesis to Revelation must be fulfilled and will be fulfilled. If God said it, if it's in His Word, it will come to pass. So there's nothing you can do to stop the New World Order or the mark of the beast from coming, and it is coming. They have to go to a cashless digital currency first. then they're going to start forcing vaxes. The vaxes are to make your body a conduit for the chip implant, the mark of the beast. You are no longer in God's image and likeness. You're part artificial intelligence, AI. You're like a walking cell tower. This is so that the Antichrist will use technology to put thoughts into your mind, kill you, control you, whatever, through your TV, through your phones, through the chip implant, which they'll put either in your forehead, your brain, or your hands, okay? This is not a fairy tale. They're already doing this technology. They've been doing it for a long time now. It's just not forced on the population yet, but it will be. There's no avoiding this. Don't think that it's just a story or things can change or whatever. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm not trying to side with the New World Order. I'm telling you, it will come to pass. It is coming to pass right now. Many of you are still saying, like I talked to some women at church today, and they're like, oh, come on, there's no digital currency. What are you talking? You keep talking about this. Do you not watch TV or have internet? Do you live in a cave somewhere? Some people just can't handle the truth. It scares them, and they don't want to hear it, period. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to think about it. That is stupid because you're not ready. Well, if you can't stop it, how can you be ready? You have to be ready prayerfully. You have to be a real Christian. You have to be ready mentally, spiritually, and physically. You have to be so close to the Lord and filled with His Holy Spirit that when the time comes, and it will come, it is here, it is coming. It's already happening all over the world. The mainstream media is not showing you how many Christians are being annihilated, martyred, persecuted, raped, burned up, killed, all over the world. Even in America now, and you're not even seeing it. They will have to get rid of Christianity in order for communism, which is the method of choice of the devil. Marxism and socialism and communism, they're all the same. It is total control, government control of the world. Communism forces everyone, like in China, to be slaves. You have no freedom. You can't go outside if they don't let you. They're watching you all the time on cameras. There's social credit scores. There's marks of the beast. There's all this stuff. You are not your own anymore. The devil wants to own human beings, even though he can't. Because we belong to Jesus Christ. But if you deny Christ, you belong to Satan by default. Jesus said that. After all He's done for you on that cross to save you, it's coming down to the great test. Do not take that microchip or that mark, and they will force it into your body. And the vaccines get your body ready for the mark. But even if you don't have the vaccines, once you take that mark, even like I'm a non-vaxxer, but they can still stick that mark in me, I will still be damned. People are not going to recognize the mark, or they're not going to want to believe that it's here so quickly, or it's going to come out so fast that they're going to be forced, just like the jab. They said, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your job, if you don't take this jab, blah, 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 blah. You have to do it. And people said to me, when I told them they're going to force that, they said they can't force anyone to vaccinate. They can't threaten your job. And they did. And people fell for it. And this is why I'm saying you're not going to be able to stop it, because unless the entire world rose up, started praying to Jesus, okay, and literally had a civil war, and got rid of these evil people, you can still only delay it, but you can't. You don't understand the technology they have now. None of us can hide from drones and laser weapons and demons and aliens and all this crap that they have. It is real. But aliens are demons that found a way to get into bodies, flesh suits in this, to attack. And, this is all biblical. If you understand what you're reading and seeing. The point is, it's so scary and apocalyptic. That's why it's called Apocalypse. Nobody wants to think about it. But it's here now. It's already here. It's been here, but it is coming so obvious now to even the unbelievers are saying, hey, something's up here. Duh. No, it doesn't matter how awake you are. You can't stop it. So what's the point of my video? Not to bring hopelessness. Your hope is in Jesus. It's always only been about Jesus. No matter what goes on in life, it's all about Jesus to the end. Whether you get to die warm and safe in your own bed of old age, or you die in a car accident, or you die in the New World Order, they persecute you. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that every human being believe this and understand this truth. You're not your own. You will either be a slave to Christ or a slave to the devil. You were created by Christ for his will, plan, and purpose to go to heaven. He's not going to force you. The devil is doing everything to lie, manipulate, deceive, confuse, and force you into hell, into compliance with communism, into compliance with the New World Order, and to be his slave. He doesn't even need slaves. He just wants you in hell with him since he's done. It's all over for him. You and I still have a choice, a chance till our last dying breath. And Satan's got all the time in eternity right now. He'll wait, you know? He doesn't die. Evil doesn't die. And so he's waiting. He'll wait to your deathbed to get you. So many people end up in hell at the last second, even if they lived a good, pious life, because the devil deceived them on their deathbed. The most painful, strongest battle, and every Catholic knows this, is on your deathbed. Like when someone's laying there in a coma, you have no idea what's going on in the spiritual realm. There is Jesus and demons and everything's fighting for your soul at the last minute. Okay? And if you're not in state of grace, you don't stand a chance. If you don't have divine mercy and Jesus and people praying for you, and if you're not doing this right, you're not going to make it. Even if you're in a coma and you look like you're at peace with a smile on your face, your soul is fighting to not be dragged down to hell. And once they pull you off life support, you're done. This is so important, and nobody wants to hear it. And I get tired of hearing it and having to talk about it all the time. But people are still, I'm amazed when I go to church, and people are like, what are you talking about? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, like I'm the only one who knows what's going on, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who go to church. Why do you go to church if you don't believe the Bible? What are you learning? You know, and they don't know, and they don't believe, and they don't care, and they don't want to hear it, and they call me a conspiracy theorist, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's happening. It's already here. When I told you they were going to force vaccinations in 2019, you said, that'll never happen. 2020, 2021, 22 came, I was right. Did I ever get an apology? No. Do I want one? No. Nobody admitted I was right. They never do, and it's coming. You guys are going to see so much stuff. China and Russia, World War III, Antichrist will be revealed, marks of the beast forced on people, cashless digital society. It's all part of the New World Order and the chip, the mark of the beast, to get you to comply. It will be for all of us. Pay attention to this. You will comply or you will die. Sooner or later. You will either starve to death in the streets or in a FEMA camp. You'll either be tortured or you will be martyred. Heads chopped off, firing squad, whatever. I'm telling you this because if you don't realize, you don't want to think of these things, you don't want to believe these things can happen or they're coming. Especially Americans. You all think you're in this ivory tower, this protective bubble. You got your rose-tinted glasses. Oh, that's never going to happen in this country. Yeah, it will. This is Mystery Babylon the Great. It's going to go down in an hour. You will see. This is Satan's headquarters over here. His throne is in Geneva, Switzerland, by the way. It's also biblical. But Satan's throne is in Geneva, Switzerland, where CERN is. Where the keys to Abaddon, the bottomless pits, the hell is being opened. Did you notice a rise in crime and demonic activity and, lack of morals and all this stuff? Ever since CERN was up and running? CERN is in the Bible. 666 CERN. They have technology to open up portals to hell. To let demons out. And they are here. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're here. It's all around you. Right now, they're probably all around this house. But our guardian angels, because Don and I are in a state of grace, we came from Mass. They can't get in right now, but they're waiting. They wait for one argument, one slip-up, one mortal sin, and you're opening the door to them. People, this is spiritual warfare, and because you cannot see it, you can't see HIV, you can't see COVID, you can't see the flu, but they're very real. They can kill you. Lyme disease can kill you. West Nile virus can kill you from mosquito bites. You don't see it, but you know, right? You believe the scientists that these things are out there, so you protect yourself. You know? Skin cancer, sunscreen, you protect yourself. But you do not protect yourself from spiritual warfare, from demons and demonic oppression and the New World Order and the Antichrist. Why? Because you don't take... most of the world is not Christian, so they have no protection. And the rest of the world who is Christian, they're lukewarm or apostate or don't really believe, or they're not in a state of grace, so they're not protecting themselves. They're not living as real Christians. And here's the sad thing. Because if you really break it down to a nutshell, if you really get to the core of why even Christians don't want to go 100% all in, maybe because they have little faith, and they're still kind of wondering if it's true, or maybe there is no heaven or hell. They don't want to, well, if this is the only life I have, I want to enjoy it. What if we just die and disappear and there's no afterlife? Then it doesn't matter, because you're not going to remember this life anyway, moron. But if there is, you're going to be very sorry. But they don't, not only little faith, they don't want to have no comfort. If you truly go 100% all in for Christ, you will be hated by most people, persecuted, lose jobs, careers, your family will turn against you, as the Bible said. Your best friends will leave you and be the first to turn you into authorities. Your enemies will be in your own household, within your own family. You'll be looked at like me, like a crazy person, a conspiracy theorist, a Bible banger, a kook. People will avoid you like a leper, like the plague. Yes, it's called being a Christian. It's called carrying your cross. When you carry your cross, you're walking to death. You're walking to your death on Calvary. And people are kicking you and throwing stones and spitting at you and mocking you and whipping you while you're walking this narrow road through the streets, being mocked and humiliated and hated and persecuted as you're carrying your device of death. And then when you finally make it, after they beat the crap out of you and you're trying to get there, you're just trying to walk to your death, they tack you on the cross. And then you hang there naked for hours while birds peck your eyes out and they torture you. It's a horrible thing. And so Christianity, the walk that you have to take, is very much like that if you do it right. Now you tell me how many Christians you know are really living that authentically, where their whole life is like being persecuted, they're attacked by the devil, they have no peace, everybody seems to hate them, their family left them, they lose jobs, they're poor, they're going through hell, but they have strong faith. Besides me, I don't know many. I'm surrounded by people in the pew, and by the way, the pews are getting more and more empty, especially on Sunday. What is up with that? Catholics, Sunday is our day. And when I see more of you on the Sunday vigil at 4 p.m. Mass or 5 p.m. Mass, it's crowded so that you don't have to get up early on Sunday. What's up with that? Today was a beautiful day, and there was like maybe, 50 people in the church, all scattered out. It was almost empty. It looked like COVID again. And it's Sunday, and our Sunday Mass is usually, we have two. We have the 9 a.m. one in one church and our sister church, and then we have the big one at 11 for us people who are not morning early risers, and it's usually standing room only. Today and lately, it's been there's plenty of room to sit, Today was empty. No good, especially since our church is in a deficit and we need money to keep the buildings open. And less people are coming, which means less people donating, which means the buildings are not going to... We're not going to have a church soon. Then what are you going to do? When you have no Jesus and no church and no Eucharist, no Mass, no confession, no sacraments, no baptism, no marriages, no funerals. And we're in the New World Order, mark of the beast is being forced on you when you need God the most, community the most, and there isn't one. You see? So you're not going to avoid what's coming. I think that most of you don't believe what's coming or don't understand what you're looking at. But many of us do. And we're not worried. I'm not scared. I mean, I'm not comfortable with it, but I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm just... People say, oh, calm down. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't let it steal your joy. I'm not. But I got to make these videos, and I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, everybody, guess what? We're this much closer to the mark of the beast. Aren't you happy? Yay! We're in a tribulation soon. Everything. Oh, I love Jesus. Kumbaya. Are you going to stand in the persecution line with me? Okay, so here's what to look for. That would be stupid. I'm telling you, I got to talk like this to wake you up. There's a time to be all bubbly and happy, and we are joyful as being Christians. But when it comes down to what's serious, life and death here, heaven and hell for eternity, we don't talk like we're watching Barney or Blue's Clues. We're talking serious here. Adult to adult. Wake up. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with, oh, you're not attracting many people to your video, Steve, because of the way you talk. It's so gloom and doom. It's so miserable. It's always yelling, talking down, scaring, fire and brimstone. Nobody wants to hear that. That's exactly it. Nobody wants to hear it. I got news for you. They didn't want to hear it from Elijah, from Jeremiah. They didn't want to hear it from Jesus. They didn't want to hear the Sermon on the Mount. They didn't want to hear it thousands of years ago. They're not going to want to hear it today. People can't handle the truth. Did you ever see that movie, A Few Good Men? The best scene in the movie was when what's his name, yells and he says to Tom Cruise, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Because he had to admit that he was guilty and that, yes, Tom was right all along. And there was no more hiding it. The guy was called out and he had to confess his agenda. Well, people can't handle the truth. They don't want to handle the truth. They're so busy with social media and Facebook and celebrities and sports and going to the beach and enjoying their life that they're not seeing what's going on. And they're so convinced that most of the stuff on the internet is fake that they don't want to believe it. They wouldn't recognize the truth when it was right there. Now, I have been talking about these things since I was in my 20s and teens, and now they are here. And still, people don't give me credit. And I don't want your credit. You know what? If you're still not seeing it after all these years, I've been right. And it's not just me. There's millions of us sounding the alarm. This is what I was born to do. I knew about this stuff since I was a child, I recognized. I was very different. I didn't play with toys and kids my age and stuff. I was like an old soul in a young body with super intelligence, and I knew what was going on. I'd sit there and watch Jeopardy at 3 years old with my grandmother and answer the questions. I don't know why I'm so weird. There's something intentional about me that the Lord knew he was doing. Maybe I am a prophet or evangelist. Who cares? It doesn't matter what I am. The point is, I've always known that there was a lot more going on behind the scenes in this world, and I would always sit and watch most people, my family, everybody in the world, just kind of going through life. And I'm like, you guys you don't see the big picture. Like, you're so aloof. It's like I'm watching a movie. You guys are just so in your own little worlds that there's like a whole thing going on out there that you're not even aware of. And I was always called odd and conspiracy theorist and gloom and doomer. And I'm like, and now I bet you people avoid me because there's no longer a way for them to deny that I was right all along. Now they would have to say, I'm sorry, and take me back and say, we mistreated you. We thought you were crazy, a liar, a lunatic, conspiracy theorist, one of those Bible bangers. But turns out, so far, you've been right on. But they'll never do that because narcissists are too full of pride. They'll never admit they're wrong. And you got to be a real narcissist nowadays to not have Jesus in your life. To not be able to die to your pride, die to self, and just be willing to literally die. That's the part that scares me. I'm going to admit it. If somebody puts a knife to my throat, it's not going to feel good. I'm not looking forward to it. But this is going to happen to so many of us in the future. Even if it's 20 years down the line. It could be next week. It could be next month. People, it's coming. The things that are coming, that are already here and happening, and you don't see it, you don't want to see it. What are you waiting for until they come to your door and drag you out of the house and say, are you a Christian? Come with us. You're not going to comply, huh? Wouldn't take the jab. We know who you are. Come with us. You will take this jab. Nope. Well, then you'll be dead. You're going into a FEMA camp. Oh, well. Because if you don't take that jab, you're not going to take the mark of the beast either. Nope. Then you will die. Well, then I die. A real Christian would rather live free and die free in Christ than be a slave in this world. Would you, if you knew right now, do you know how many people commit suicide when they get a lifetime prison sentence? Can you imagine being in like a terrible prison or a concentration camp the rest of your life, especially if you're young? Or if you're old and you're already sick like me and have a lot of health issues, you won't last a week. And they're punishing you and torturing you in bad conditions. Did you see what they did over the years to the Jews, to the blacks, to the Indians? You see what these people do? What communists do? They're sick, sadistic. It is hell on earth. This is what Christians especially have to look forward to, unfortunately. When this thing is fully up and running. And it can be any time within the next months or years. That's why I'm sounding the alarm. Can you stop it? No. You don't kill yourself. Absolutely not. You'll end up in hell. So you have to go through it unless Jesus raptures us out of here, which a lot of people believe there's going to be a rapture. I hope you're right. But Catholics don't believe in a pre-trib rapture. It kind of defeats the purpose of proving yourself to God that, and when Jesus said you must not love your life to the death and be willing to lay your life down for me, as I did for you. So, all the apostles except for John died horrific martyrdom deaths. Look what Jesus had to go through. What makes you think you and I, the remnant faithful, the few who are being saved, are going to escape that? You really think you're going to escape that? Man, I hope it's firing squad or guillotine for me. And I hope it's quick. I hope God takes me before this happens. I'll probably have a heart attack anyway as soon as I get locked up. Because my heart's already weak. So I'm not, too worried about it. We all have to die one way or another. And most times it's not going to be happy in your bed. It's going to be in a tragic accident or something very painful anyway. So look at those people in Lahaina. The government burned their houses down. These people were stuck in their cars. I saw videos of bodies charred with the fluids all over the road coming out. Dogs, people charred to death in their car on the road trying to get to the water. They didn't have time. Do you know how painful and disgusting that is? Oh, God. That's hell. But in hell, you'll keep burning. You'll never stop. You'll feel the pain and you'll never die and get away from the pain. And this is why I'm trying to tell you, please, this is not a fairy tale. Hell is real. And most people are going there. And before that, it'll be hell on earth. And a lot of people will end up in hell because they're going to die on the earth during these times. Wouldn't you rather, no matter how painful your death is, at least know that when it's over, it's not eternal. You're not going to go out of the pot and into the fire. Like, you're not going to go through a terrible, painful death and then end up in hell forever, where it never stops pain forever. No, but at least Christians have a hope that they're going to be able to go to heaven. And then once you're up there, you're not going to think about the pain and suffering or anything in this life anymore. When I had that experience out of body, I didn't even get to see heaven, but I got a foretaste of it. And I did not want to come back, and the last thing I was thinking about was the hell of a life I had lived already. All the pain and suffering for 33 years, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even remember it. I didn't care. All I can remember was being engulfed in happiness, peace, love, ecstasy, bliss. I can't, there's no words to describe heaven. And I did not care what it took to get there at that point. And I knew I did not want to go back to this life, but I had to. But I'm telling you, no matter how horrific your death is, it will be a few minutes of pain, but then an eternity of bliss if you die for Christ. So people, the point of this video is you must be ready to literally die for Christ. Whether it's in a car accident, whether it's in your sleep, whether you fall down the stairs, be ready to meet Christ and enjoy your eternity. But you got to get there. And the devil is hell-bent on keeping you from getting there. He knows how awesome it is, and he'll never see it again. And he doesn't want you and I, who are created for it, to ever see it either. And he will stop at nothing. He's got nothing left to lose. It's over. He will take you down. And so what he's doing is, he's got us all trapped on this planet. And he's the God of this world, and he's running everything. The governments are corrupt, the police are corrupt, the military, the law is corrupt. They don't follow the laws that they make. They make the laws, but we have to follow them. And they keep changing them, and we have to obey them, but they don't, because they're at the top of the pyramid. They're working for the devil. They're going to burn in hell too. They just don't realize it. Christians, I hate to say this, but when you became a Christian, do you know why you were baptized? You were literally it was to represent dying. Dying and resurrecting in Christ's power. You're telling yourself you're getting ready to die and be born again and live forever in Christ. You're dying to self. You're dying to all this that's going on in the world, which is really just a distraction, a smokescreen. It's enslavement. You're a slave to work. You're a slave to taxes. You are a slave down here. Your only freedom right now, until you're out of this body and in heaven, is Jesus Christ in your heart and mind and in your lifestyle. But they're going to try to take that from you too. And they will, as much as you let them. But they cannot take your soul if you don't let them. But they can take your body, and they will. It's not a matter of if, but when. We are all appointed to die, whether it's through World War III, whether it's in a FEMA camp. It doesn't matter. You're going to die, whether it's cancer. What happens after that is what this is all about. Your whole life wasn't about being a doctor or a teacher or a mother or father or a scientist or a celebrity. It was about coming to know, love, and serve the Lord Jesus Christ, knowing your purpose of why you're here, and making it home to heaven. That's it. Anything else was just what you did while you were navigating this world to get there. But most people are not focusing their life and every decision they make, from what career they're going to choose or whatever, to keep on the Christian path. They just do it the worldly way. Well, I'm here, I got to do something, whatever. Life it sucks, oh well. I just hope I make it to heaven. You hope you make it to heaven? You better make it to heaven. You better make it, or you're going to be in fire. I mean, what do you, maybe I'll make it, I'm a good person, I hope. No! You better make it. Failure's not an option. People, wake up. If you don't make it, you're going to be in fire forever with Satan. That's not pain. Unimaginable pain forever. You can't take this lightly. All things that you think are so important must be brushed to the side. Jesus first. Every day, all day long. It will cost you almost everything. But the Lord will provide your bills to be paid if you're truly with all your heart living for Him. He knows what you need. And maybe you have to move, maybe you have to downsize, maybe you have to leave your job, go to another state. Whatever it takes to save your soul. Your soul will never die. You will never die. That is so important to understand, that nothing else in life, it doesn't matter how much you suffer in this life, as long as you make it to heaven. And when you're in heaven, your life is over. It's but a blink of an eye. It might seem like an eternity now, because it stinks, it's suffering. But once you're out of this body, I'm telling you, I've been there. You're not going to think about it anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. You're free. You are so free that you would come back and do it all over again just to get there. I'm telling you. You would do whatever it takes to get there. You would burn in hell for a year if you had to in order to get there. Whatever it takes to get there. I'm not kidding you. And people aren't thinking like this, and they're not preaching like this, and they're not taking it seriously. They're just going to church on Sunday, and okay, we've heard this before. If you're just, I used to get like that. Okay, how many times are we going to go through like in the Catholic Church, you got your A, B, and C. And every 3 years, we've covered the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation in church. Years A, B, and C, through all the readings, okay? If you go every single day, by the way. A little bit every single day, not just on Sundays. So it takes about 3 years to really get through the whole Bible, unless you're reading it on your own. Okay. So for you Protestants who think that we don't read the Bible in Catholicism, you don't even know what you're talking about. Shut up, go home. We don't need to hear your stupidity anymore. Everything's based on the Bible. In the Catholic Church. Everything. Now, you need to understand what's going on here. I cannot stress it enough, and you need to be authentic. Enough with the sports, enough with the movie theater, enough with all the worldly stuff, and worrying about, houses and stuff. Lust with the eyes is not just looking at naked people and pornography. It's also lusting after, I gotta have that car or truck. I gotta have a Ferrari. I gotta have that beautiful house on the beach. Any of that stuff is lusting with the eyes. It's material stuff. It's stuff that you don't need to get to heaven. It's not important, but it can weigh you down. It can distract you. While you're so busy trying to get that big, beautiful mansion that you want on the beach, you're dedicating all your time and energy to get that, right? Isn't that what they teach us, even in the New Age and The Secret and all that garbage? Focus on it. Keep thinking about it. Meditate on it constantly, and it will materialize. Well, while you're doing all that, and you're focusing so hard, all your energy and your time and effort and mantras and meditation, you're not thinking about Jesus in heaven, which you were instructed, commanded to focus all your time and meditation and energy on heaven, things above, not on houses and cars and men and women and money and fame and fortune and fun. See, that's the trick. If you put all your eggs in that basket, in worldly basket, you're going to hell. You might gain the whole world, but you will lose your soul. And what does it profit a man, the Bible says, to gain the whole world? Have a nice house, a nice car, a nice career, whatever you want, the American dream, and then go to hell. And that is the trick. People don't see the eternal price tag on those items. They only see a price tag. They don't see an eternal price tag. Not only are you a slave to those things and having to pay for those things the rest of your life with high taxes and high interest rates, which keep you working 80 hours a week, and the minute you default, they take it from you anyway, because it's never really yours anyway, so it's a lie, so you're working for a lie, but you're going to lose your eternal soul too. Was it worth it? It wasn't worth it. Everything the devil could say, here, look at this mayonnaise, it's brand new, ooh, how good it is. Soon as you take it from him, it turns to dust in your hands. It was garbage and a facade the whole time. And now you go to hell because you took it. This is what I'm saying, this whole world. But if you train your mind to listen to Jesus and the disciples and start living that way, you're not going to care about all this other stuff so much. If you have it, great. If you don't, it's okay. Because you're going to have better in heaven for eternity. And you don't have to work for it and pay taxes on it. It won't be taken from you. Here, everything will be taken from you sooner or later and go to someone who didn't earn it. And you'll be in hell. People, it's here now. It's here now. And some of you watching this video might not even live to see the Antichrist or the mark of the beast. You might die tomorrow. And you're still going to hell if you don't get this right now. So either way, Satan knows this. Satan knows it's just not a matter of if but when. He'll wait 100 years for you to fall into hell. He's got nothing but time. So, you got to understand, but you don't have time. I don't have time. We got to get this right. And another reason why, and I'm going to end this video, is you've got to be an authentic Christian, because you will not be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, the Antichrist, the New World Order. You will not be brave enough, courageous enough, strong enough in the spirit, which is why you to feed the spirit and not the flesh. Die to the flesh, grow in the spirit, because that spirit is going to be your only ticket to saying no to the mark of the beast when they're forcing it on you. When they say, take this or die, we're going to torture and kill you in that FEMA camp. You're going to be raped and murdered in there if you don't take this. But if you do take it, you can save your life, but you will be a slave. And you won't. And if you think what the devil's going to do to make it appealing is say, listen, this is going to be so much easier in this new world order. Just take the mark and don't listen to those crazy Christians. There's no hell. But even if there is, you're going to have a really awesome life. We have ways to keep you living forever. We have technology that will make you artificial and you'll never die. So you'll never have to go to hell. And you'll have a good job and you'll have all the things that the devil will give you that you couldn't have before. Just take the mark. And then soon as everybody's got that mark, those who were taking it, the devil's going to say, ha ha, did you really think I was going to let you have an easy life? That car you wanted, that mansion, you're going into a FEMA camp anyway. And now I not only have your life, I have your soul. And there's no going back. You can't repent now. You took that mark to save your own butt, to save your life. So you didn't have to die a martyr. So you denied Christ, and now, no matter what, whether you have a great life, you're never going to enjoy it, because you know that as soon as you do die, you're going to hell forever. Don't take the mark, and stop taking the jabs. I don't care if it's a flu vaccine. You can't trust it. You can't trust it. And what if those jabs keep making you want to take the mark? Did you ever... People, this is not a sci-fi movie. You don't understand. The devil, it does not have he's got a lot of power and knowledge, but not like Jesus. Jesus can snap his fingers and do whatever he wants. Satan has to use technology. He has to make clones in human skin suits for his demons to occupy, because they can't occupy a Christian. So they got to find another way around it, but they will. They have. You wouldn't even know if they were walking among you right now. I know this sounds like some crazy conspiracy, crazy sci-fi, makes you want to turn away from Christianity. But it is the truth. It is the truth. In fact, we don't even, in the church is walking on eggshells. They're walking a very dangerous fine line. They will not talk about all of this stuff. They leave it up to kooks like me to fill in the gaps. They only preach the word and that's it. But the word, it keeps opening up more and more and giving you more and more information as you read it, as you live it, as it's unfolding before your very eyes throughout history. You're in a Bible story right now. You're part of it. The book didn't end 2,000 years ago. You were already written on the pages all throughout Revelation. You're in there. It was written ahead of time because Jesus knew you and I were going to be here during these end times, during the book of Revelation. We're not in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John anymore. That was them. We are in the end times. You and I can be found in the pages of Revelation. And we're going through that. It's never been easy for a Christian down here, and it never will be. You're only going to be happy and safe in heaven if you get there. Otherwise, the devil runs everything else down here, and he can only do what God allows. But if you're not with Christ, he'll allow the devil to do whatever he wants to you. And if you do belong to Christ, God will be like treating you like Job. He'll say, okay, do this, but not that. You could do this. And why? To test you and strengthen you to make sure that you're wise like the dove, wise as the serpent but harmless as the dove, to make sure that you are ready for heaven. And if you don't make it, no loss to God, because you weren't going to make it anyway. It's like testing you like gold in a fire. That's what these tribulations are about. That's why there's evil out here. God doesn't create the evil, but he allows the evil to do a job. If without darkness you wouldn't know light. There's light and there's dark for a reason, so you can see the difference and have a choice. So God allows all this. And if you're really serious about your eternity and Christianity, then you're not going to falter. You're going to fall here and there, but you're going to make it. But it's going to be as going through a fire, the Bible says. It's not going to be easy. It's like that's why he said, Jesus never lied to us. He never promised us. See, you're hearing all these Protestant pastors talking about live your best life now. Jesus paid it all on the cross so you can enjoy your life. He came to set you free. So buy the yacht and have fun and do. That's not true. What did Jesus always say? In this world you will have troubles and tribulations, but I have overcome the world, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, but not on your own. He said, pick up your cross and follow me. He said to the rich young ruler, go and sell all you have, give it to the poor, leave your mother, father, sister, brother, your wife and kids, Get rid of all your material things. Take nothing with you. Carry your cross and follow me. And he said, I'm not going to do that. I have a great life. I live in a palace. I have a beautiful wife and kids. I have a lot of nice things. I'm rich. I'm famous. I have everything. Well, you asked me how to be my disciple, and I told you, go, leave all that, give it to the poor, and pick up your cross and follow me. For this, I, the Son of Man, haven't even had a place to lay my head down. I was born in a manger, yet I'm God. So, humility. It was a test. He wanted the rich young ruler to realize that it would cost him everything, including his life, to be a Christian. Would he be willing to do that? That's why Jesus said, see, he was this close. But he said no, he turned me down because he didn't want to part with them. And he said, that's why I tell you it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man or woman to enter the kingdom of God. Because the more awesome things you have down here, it's like your life is already a little foretaste of heaven. You don't want to let that go. People fear poverty. I understand why. I know what it's like. It sucks. It really does. It's scary, not knowing if you're going to have a house or a roof over your head or if you're going to die in the street starving. You know, everything turns against you when you're poor. So a rich young ruler is not going to want to just give up everything, his comfortable life, his power, his money, his luxury, to go and carry a cross and be spit at and kicked at and whipped and hated for Christ's name's sake. When he has it all, he's already gained the whole world, but he will lose his soul. People, it's easier for the poor. Why do you think Jesus said, blessed are the poor, the widows, the orphans? We know we need God, and we come to him so much easier and quicker than a rich person will who thinks they are God and has no need for God because they seem to have everything, and the devil gives them everything to keep their soul in hell. But the minute, like when I was in Hollywood, the minute I turned away from an acting career and I was this close to being a millionaire, I was right there. And then I said, nope, I'm out of here, I'm done. Because I realized if I do this, I will gain the world but lose my soul. I had to make a choice between that lifestyle of the rich and famous, which since childhood I wanted and knew I can have somehow. But I then realized that the devil had been after me since I was a child. He knew God had a plan for me. And he wanted to thwart it. He wanted to misdirect me into Hollywood and being like the rich young ruler and giving up my birthright and what I'm supposed to do. And how many souls I preached to would never have heard me and might have ended up in hell. And myself, even if I continued that worldly way, that worldly lifestyle. And let me tell you, Satan had me believing God was giving me everything I wanted. If there was a superstar I wanted to date or sleep with, I got them. If there was a movie I wanted to be in, I got it. Like, it was that easy. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is coming too fast, too easy. Something's wrong here. And the things I did was getting me deeper down the rabbit hole of hell. Sleeping with people on the movie sets and oh my, I've done it all. And I'm like, wait. And then, but the more I started following Jesus, I realized, I'm deceived. This is of the devil. This isn't God. God's not making my career flourish. This is going to take me away from heaven. I'm making movies that are practically pornographic and leading people to hell. I'm going to be in trouble. I'm done. I'm out. And they're like, no. Why would you leave? You're almost here. Here, just do this. It's a $40 million role. Nope. Bye. Why would you turn this down? You work so hard. Because it's not worth going to hell for. Oh, you and your stupid Christianity. Just do the movie, Steve. Nope. And then my family got mad. You worked your whole life. You made us spend so many thousands of dollars on your stupid model shoots and your resumes and your agents and your traveling. For what? Now you just, as soon as you make it to success, you leave? You owe us a lot. You got to pay us all back. I can't. Well, you know, and so that's another reason why my family hated me. I was on TV all the time. I was in magazines. I was up and coming. And as much as they said they didn't want me, they were jealous of me, they were never proud of me. Why can't you just work a normal job like everybody else? Why do you got to draw attention to the family? Why do you got to be a superstar? Why do you got to be on TV? They were just jealous and holding me back. But the point is, they would have wanted the money. If I was walking in the millions, they would have been the first ones with their hands out. Gimme. Let me go to the red carpet with you. Of course. They would have loved me then. And I started realizing that once I turned to Jesus, my family and all my friends, my girlfriends, everybody turned away from me because I had nothing they wanted. They didn't want Jesus and religion, which I never shut up about. They liked me when I had sports cars and I was bringing them to Hollywood events on my arm, red carpet events and stuff like that. They didn't. Once I didn't have that anymore, I was useless to them. And I thought that these people loved me, but all they did was love who I was and what I offered them. I was fun to know. Fun to be around. Steve paid for everything. Now I've been poor and sick and attacked in every way ever since I was 27, 28 years old. The persecution began at 26, 27 years old. And that's when I gave my life to Christ. And it is, now I'm 43 years old and my life is not what most people would want. But if you see what God's been doing to keep me sustained, He's been following through on His promise. I have a roof over my head even if it's not mine. I have food every day. I'm certainly not starving. I have what I need so I can serve Him another day. The world will give you, the devil will give you what you need so you can be a slave to him and work for his corporations and make them money another day. But the minute you get sick or old, they'll put you down like a lame horse, a lame racehorse. Can't run anymore, useless to us. Can't make us money anymore. Out with the old, in with the new. And that's how the world is. You're nothing but a product. You belong to a corporation. Corporation America. You're a slave. But Jesus doesn't want slaves. He wants servants. He wants children. He wants friends. The devil don't care about any of that. He's pure concentrated evil. There's no love in his heart. And so you have to understand that the devil is set up all of this down here. All of it. To entrap your soul. The way is so darn narrow, in fact. It's like a clothesline. Like a thread. Like a dog leash. It's hard to see in the grass. I'm realizing that. Like, even most Christians are not even on the real narrow road. It is hard. It is hard. But the Lord explained to me, why do you think it's so hard? I'll tell you why. Because I had to go through it first. Look what it cost me. So you are going to have to follow in my footsteps. It will cost you too. It isn't free. What I'm going to give you for all eternity is so amazing and worth it. But think about how you couldn't even afford the price tag on it. I had to pay it with my blood. And I'm God. A holy, perfect God had to go through that for you. So you can have it. So you're going to have to pay one way or another for it. Walk the road of the cross. The devil will say, it's too hard. You're probably not going to make it anyway. Don't worry about it. Just stay on the broad road to destruction. Just enjoy your life. You're going to hell anyway, so make it count. That's what he says, and that's the mentality of most of the world. And most Christians are called lukewarm and apostate because they're not really truly on the road. And it's sad. And those of us who are, our own church hates us. Shut up, Steve. Stop preaching. Stop making videos. Even the priest doesn't talk like that. Not my problem. Maybe he should. You know? Or nobody else is doing what you're doing. Why can't you just shut up and sit in the pew like everybody else and just enjoy your life? Because I want to go to heaven. I'm not a pew warmer. I'm not lukewarm. I'm not apostate. I know what I know, and I'm going to not go down without a fight. I'm not taking a chance, people. No. Kill me. I don't care. Then I'll be with Jesus. That's my only guarantee. In fact, if somebody lobs my head off, I get a chance to definitely be a blood martyr and probably the only way I'll make it to heaven, honestly. I want to go to heaven, even if it costs me that. Yes, that's how serious I am. Chop my head off. Shoot me. I don't care. I want to go to heaven. So, it's done. I made my decision. And it's going to hurt. And I'm telling you, you must be ready to make this all-in decision that come what may. I don't care if your family and friends, son or daughter don't make it, you got to make it. And if you make it, you and your household could be saved. The devil won't let you know that either. So someone's going to pay the price. It might be you and me for our family. But you're not going to care once you're up there and your loved ones are up there with you. And it's worth it, isn't it? It was worth dying for them. It was worth dying for heaven. So you got to get this mentality. Stop valuing your life so much. What are you worried about death for? Death is freedom from this trap. If you do this right, it's going to be so worth dying. But this world programs you into trying to live forever and don't die, and death's a bad thing. And no, because Satan knows that death is your door out of here if you do it right. If you do it wrong, if you kill yourself, you're probably going to hell. But if you do this the way Jesus tells you, you got no worries. You have to worry down here, but once you get through that narrow gate, you're home free. But you got to get there. And it's like running through a battlefield. Okay? It's not going to be easy, people. It's not meant to be. The prize is so valuable that it's so expensive that you have to do this. Like, it's just, there's no other way but the road to the cross. Otherwise, Jesus would have found another way. And I never thought of that before. Thank you, Lord. When he was in the garden sweating blood, he said, Father, is there any other way? If there's any other way, do not make me drink from this cup. But your will be done, not mine. And the Father said, there is no other way. So be it then. And he sent an angel to strengthen Jesus, and Jesus began his passion, and he went to the cross for us. But I think also that Jesus was not thinking about himself. He loved the Father, and he loved you and I. And I think that another reason why I'm hearing right now that he said, is there any other way than this, Father? Than the road of the cross to be saved? To save them? It's because he knew that we were going to have to follow in his footsteps and in that very difficult, painful road of the cross as well. We would also have to partake in his sufferings, drink from the same cup if we wanted to make it. And I think for our sake, he was like, Father, they're not going to be able to handle this. Like, this is horrible. Like, I don't even want to do it, but are they going to be able to do it? Like, is there any other way? Because I wish this on no one, and I love them so much, I don't want them to have to go through this. I don't want to go through it, and I'm God. I certainly don't want these humans to have to go through this. But your will be done. If there's no other way, so be it. And he did it, and then he said, now, I've paved the way, follow me. Now you carry your cross. And it may cost you every drop of your blood if it requires it. So be it. It's the only way. And that's why when the disciples were saying, Lord, I want to sit at your right hand. I want to sit. Who's going to say? And he said, that's not for me to decide, but the Father. But understand what you're asking me. Are you able to drink from the same cup that I have to drink? Are you able to die a terrible, painful martyr's death and walk the road of the cross that I'm going to be walking? Yes, Lord, we can do it. Then you shall drink from the same cup, he said to them. However, nevertheless, as far as who sits at my right and who sits at my left, that's not up to me. That's up to the Father. But you will still drink from this cup now. So in other words, he was basically saying, are you guys ready? Because everything we've been talking about for 3 years has led up to this moment. I'm about to be slaughtered for you. But don't be like those Protestants 2,000 years from now who are like, oh, John 3:16, God died for me. I can just live like the world and go to heaven. No. You will also drink of this same cup. It's not just, oh, Jesus died on the cross for me, so I don't have to. No, Jesus warned them, I'm going first. You will follow. I must drink from this bitter cup. You will also if you want to make it. You will carry your cross and follow me now. Does that sound like the Christianity of today? Modern day? Ooh, kumbaya, Jesus loves me, I'm going to heaven, John 3:16, that's it. All who call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. So I can just enjoy my life and go to Disney World and have fun and live like the rest of the pagans, but then I'm going to go to heaven for free. No. While you're out there living your best life now, which Jesus said not to do, you're going to hell when you die, because Jesus is going to say, how'd you get in here? Where's your cross? Where's your martyrdom? You didn't drink from the same cup. You didn't carry your cross. You didn't die to self, the world, and the flesh. Depart from me, I never knew you. You said you were a Christian, you lived a Christian life, okay, but I never knew you. Because you are not transformed into the image and likeness of me. You have not been transformed in mind and heart into another Jesus. You don't love God and neighbor as I do, as I commanded you. You didn't listen to the commandments. You didn't die to self. You lived in the flesh, not the spirit. I can go on. And yet you want to go to heaven now. No. Look at all these people who died a terrible martyr's death to get here. It would not be fair to let you in here easily when all the people before you had to walk the road of the cross, had to die and deny themselves. They didn't get to enjoy their lives like everybody else who's now in hell. They chose me first, denied themselves, were persecuted, martyred, had a tough life. They earned their salvation. I said, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That doesn't mean, oh, everybody's saved, once saved, always saved, John 3:16, let's all go to Disney World, I'll see you in heaven. That's not, you don't know Christianity. You obviously don't know Jesus, so how's Jesus going to know you? I know Jesus, he's my homeboy. No, he's not. You don't know his mind, his heart. You don't know his word, obviously. You obviously don't interpret it properly. And if you're not interpreting the word properly, you don't know Jesus' mind and heart. You're nothing like him. You have to be of like-minded heart. And how do you do that? Obeying him, putting him first, reading the word every day, and not loving your life and anything in the world or anyone in the world more than God to the death. And being ready to die in a second for the Lord, if he requires it of you. And during the tribulation, we are going to die through all the calamities and chastisements and wars. If that doesn't kill you, if COVID doesn't kill you, if these plagues don't kill you, as long as you die in Christ, don't worry about it. You're going up. But if you're not truly in Christ and you die during this tribulation, you're going down. And then when the mark of the beast comes, you're going to be so surprised at how many Christians you thought were going to heaven. Your priest even, your pastor, your mother, father, whatever. They always prayed the rosary every day. Then they take the mark of the beast. They go to hell for eternity. Their whole life following Christ just to lose it at the last second. Okay? And you're going to see so many do that. Because when it's easy to talk about this, talk about martyrdom, no big deal. But when it comes, you're going to be terrified. When you see a guillotine or a firing squad, or you're about to be burned at the stake, you're just going to be, oh, Jesus who? I don't know him. I don't want to die. Here, give me the mark. I'll take the mark. I don't want to do that. I don't want my mother or father to die. I don't want my son or daughter to have to die. Please spare their life. If I take the mark, will you save them? Don't do that. That's why Jesus said you must not love yourself or anyone more than him. You must be willing to lose everything and die for him, because it's not a matter of if for many of us in these end times. It will be a matter of when. When. And again, even if you don't die during the New World Order, you will die anyway. Sooner or later, you're going to die. Heart attack, stroke, COVID, car accident. Are you ready? Everyone's going to most likely have to die. Unless you're raptured out of here. Unless you're lucky enough to be here when Jesus returns. And what does the Bible say? By the time Jesus returns and that sky cracks open, and they call this the great and terrible day of the Lord for a reason, because it's going to be great for you if you're being saved. But if you're not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, when Jesus returns with a sword of fire in his mouth, he's going to chop you up and throw you into hell with everybody else who's not being saved. You're going to be like, oh, Jesus, you're here. And he's going to kill you and throw you into hell because he doesn't know you. That's terrible. So you better make sure you're a real Christian. Otherwise, this is not going to be a great day for you. It's going to be a terrible day when he comes. You're not safe. You're going to be terrified. You're going to be hiding in the rocks saying, fall on me and hide me from the Lamb. From I don't want to go to hell. That's what's going to happen. If you're even still alive, because Jesus isn't coming until the tribulation is really almost over and the battle of Armageddon is raging. And at that point, it's everybody who took the mark of the beast against Jesus and his army. You will be forced to be in Satan's army against God. You're already hellbound anyway. And then Jesus comes and throws you all into hell. With one swoop, you're done. It's over. New heaven and new earth are established. 1,000-year reign. If you and I don't take that mark, and we're still here when Jesus returns, we are so few. So lucky. But we have already been through such hell at that point. 7 years of the New World Order, struggling to stay alive and keep our soul, struggling not to take the mark of the beast, struggling in FEMA camps, struggling during World War III. I mean, it's going to be walking through hell on earth. So if we are alive to see Jesus return and meet him in the sky, great. But I don't think you realize how few of us are going to survive what's coming. And how few, even still, are not going to have that mark forced on them. Again, I'm done. I don't want to scare people. This is not to be a fearmonger. I don't want people to lose hope and turn away from Jesus. No. He's your only hope. And I guess I don't want to turn people away and be responsible for people giving up. But I'm hearing this. Those who have the ears to hear will hear and understand. Those who are written in the Lamb's Book of Life, those who were meant to be saved, they're going to hear this and they're going to get it. They know what you're saying, Steve. They're not going to fall away. They're not going to give up so easily. They're with you. They're not going to just throw it all away now. They're going to be thankful for your words of wisdom and opening their eyes so they can be ready. But if they're a coward, Jesus doesn't like cowards. Okay? He says that. You can't be cowardice. You can't be effeminate. You can't be weak. You got to be meek but not weak. Christians are not weak. We're meek but not weak. You got to be ready. You're in the military. You're in Jesus' army now as a Christian. You got to be strong in the Lord. And you got to be ready for anything. And if you already are walking with Jesus, you already know everything I'm telling you is true. And you're already ready for it. You're already expecting it. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be surprised if Elvis returns tomorrow on a spaceship. You're ready for whatever's coming. You know it's going to be so unimaginably hell on earth that you're already ready for it. You can't even imagine it. God said men's hearts will fail them for fear of what's coming. So that ought to be a clue. But if you're a real Christian and you're really trying hard to get to heaven, you already know it's going to be tough. You're ready. You're getting ready. You're in boot camp right now. The war hasn't started yet, but you are training for World War III. You're training. And you're willing to die for God and country. You're willing. You're a soldier. Christianity, real, authentic Christianity, is not for the weak. It is for the brave. You are meek, but not weak. You are as wise as the devil, but as harmless as the Holy Spirit. And you don't need power, because if you have Christ inside you, you've got the power of God with you and in you and fighting for you. And if God be for you, who can be against you? Not even the Antichrist. There's nothing he can do if God does not allow it. There is your hope. So hold tight to Jesus and everything you've been taught so far and never change. It will, and I'm telling you, this is another I got to end this video, but a deception of the evil one that people are falling for in the church. Well, it's been over 2,000 years. The church is changing. We're modernizing. We're being progressive. No. What did Jesus say? Not one dot or not one letter of my law will change. It is going to be the same. It was the same 2,000 years ago. It will be the same forever. The commandments will never change. My laws will never change. My word is truth. It will never change. I do not change. I am eternal. If you're going to be my follower, you will love and obey my law because it is eternal. And you'll be obeying it in heaven too. So why are the churches getting compromising and lukewarm and embracing LGBT flags? No! I don't care if it's 2023. Jesus doesn't change. His commandments don't change. The Bible don't change. The Word don't change. Truth doesn't change. You're changing. The world's changing. Nobody gave you authority to change. If you're going to be a Christian, you are going to be like the Christians 2,000 years ago. Not these modern day flakes. You must be a soldier for Christ. It's not easy. It is boot camp. Boot camp ain't easy, people. Have you ever been in the military or police academy? It's not easy. Well, welcome to Christianity. And again, the Lord never lied to us. He wasn't playing. That's why he said, pick up your cross and follow me. He didn't mean that you have to actually carry a cross, but he said it's going to feel like it. If you're doing this right, your flesh is not going to die easy. The spirit's not going to grow unless you feed it. You gotta walk. There's two natures that beat within your chest. Okay? One you love and one you hate. But the one you feed will dominate. A Christian has two natures. The fleshly, worldly, sinful nature that you should hate because it'll drag you to hell. And then the nature that is Christ-like. The one that you feed will dominate you and determine your destiny. Heaven or hell. Feed the spirit, not the flesh. Live for the spirit with your mind set on heavenly things. Don't be worldly minded, materialistic, and living like the rest of the world and most of the church today. Just stop. You need to read the Bible yourself. You need to make time for God every day yourself. You need to keep yourself in check. Listen, how do I say this, Lord? Tell them you're going for the gold. There's no second and third place. There's no silver or bronze. If you do not get that gold Olympic medal, you will not see heaven. So therefore, you must train every day and live like an athlete. Those Olympic trainers start at 14, 15 years old, 12 years old, and it lasts most of their life. And they don't stop until they win that gold. Okay? They got one shot. And if they don't make it, they usually don't get a chance to go and do it again. You and I don't have a chance to do it again. So your life is to be lived like it. And those kids in the Olympics, they complain, I never had a childhood. I was too busy practicing ice skating while everybody else got to go to the beach and go on vacation and play video games and go to school. I was homeschooled. I didn't get to have a normal childhood. I didn't get to play outside with the kids. I was too busy training from sun up to sundown every day, 15 hours a day, like Beethoven, in order for one purpose only, because I wanted to win the gold. My parents wanted me to be a gold medalist in the Olympics. So I was bred for this. And I did not get to have anything else. I had to watch everything I ate. I didn't get to enjoy McDonald's like most kids. I never saw a Happy Meal. But it was worth it when I took that gold, because you accomplished one in a billion. You were one of the few being saved in God's economy. You were one of the. Do you know how few people win the gold? And that's why St. Paul said you must run to win the gold. It's hard. You have to be willing. It's like going on a diet and you can never ever again eat a potato chip or McDonald's or a piece of cake, ice, nothing ever again. It's just beans and rice and not even rice, and salad the rest of your life. But you'll have a banging body. You'll be a supermodel. You'll look great. You'll be healthy. You'll live longer. You'll be famous. But it costs something to have that. Well, if you want to be a Christian, you saw what it cost Jesus. It will cost you as well. And Jesus even said, you're going to go through a lot of what I went through. But it's never going to be actually as bad as what I went through. But it will be similar. So that's another thing that we have to look forward to, is that it won't be as bad as what Jesus went through. But it's going to be pretty darn close. So if you already know this, prepare mentally. Prepare physically. But prepare spiritually especially. And why do you think Satan is feminizing men and making everybody a wimp down here? Oh, everybody needs a therapist. You offended me. I want to be identified as a cat. And my teacher wouldn't let me be a cat. And I can't live. I want to kill myself because I'm not a cat. Or I wanted to be a woman and I'm a man. Boo-hoo-hoo. While you're so busy with stupidity and being a weak little brat, I'm offended, that you're not going to survive a day You're not a day in this tribulation, you weak, stupid cowards. You're so busy with stupidity and being weak and effeminate that God is just going to throw you right into hell. The devil's he's already got you. You are useless. You don't even know if you're a male or female. You are useless to society already. Oh, that's not being very loving, Stephen. That's not Christian talk. I'm telling you the truth to save your soul. Stop the nonsense. Don't worry whether you're male or female. You are what God made you to be, and you better be the strongest male or female He created you to be. Or you're not making it. Male or female, I don't care what you are. If you're not strong and courageous, you're going to hell. So, if you think your life is bad now because you can't choose your gender or be a cat on Sunday, oh man, you have no clue what's coming. And this is what the devil does. This is so stupid. He's got people so off track and distracted with dumb stuff like, oh gosh, my son wants a sex change at 5. I have to give it to him or I'm going to lose my son because there's a law that says I have to let him be a girl. Meanwhile, there's a whole world apocalypse thing going on out here in the real world, and people falling into hell like snowflakes, and the devil's trying to kill you, and you're worried about transing your kids. I mean, or dressing up like a little girl, or going to a therapist because you can't handle life. Oh, I got to talk to somebody. You talk to God. You don't want to. You know why you want to pay a therapist? You'd rather pay a therapist to tell you it's okay to be a woman when you're not. To tell you what you want to hear. You don't talk to Jesus because you know Jesus ain't going to deal with your garbage. He's going to tell you straight up, Sermon on the Mount, hey, this is how it is. Man up, woman up, grow a pair. Take it or leave it. It's now or never. Up or down. Done. I'm not saying another word. Choose. You choose. I'm not forcing you. Use your free will wisely. Do it or die. I'm done. There's nothing else to say. You don't want to hear that. That's too hard. I hate you, Jesus. Puh, you're mean. You're a mean father. You don't let me have any fun. Yeah. I've been hearing it for thousands of centuries from Lucifer. And then he finally left because he thought he knew better. And now look at him. And you know what? Go. I don't need you. You're obviously his child, not mine. Because no son or daughter of mine is going to behave like that. Okay? You're either going to be Christ-minded, Christ-centered, Christ-hearted, brave, strong, courageous, military material, or you're some chaff, you're some junk. You're a little weak, useless dweeb. Go play in your mommy's clothing, go over there and fall into hell. Because you're obviously useless. I mean, what good is a man if he's not going to be a man down here? What good is a woman if she's not going to be a woman? You kind of need them. Duh. And if they're not willing to do their role, they're useless. That's like a car on water. It's useless. It's going to sink. It's like a boat on dry land. What good is it? Well, if you're not going to be the man or woman you were created to be, and the Christian you were destined to be, you are useless. And that's why Jesus doesn't hesitate to tell you, you will be burned up like chaff. I will throw you into fire like garbage. That's what garbage does. That's God's nice, politically correct way of saying, you're either a Christian or you're trash. Trash gets incinerated. I don't need garbage. I don't want sewage and garbage up here. It wouldn't be heaven with garbage all over the place. There's a place for that. It's called Gehenna. It's like the garbage dump of the universe. You will go there. Stop being trash. I created you in my image and likeness. You were not trash when I created you. You made yourself trash. Nobody told you to listen to the devil. I created you wonderfully and fearfully made. You were in the image and likeness of God. You rebelled. You decided to become trash. That's your free will choice. So you will burn like trash. But if you ever decide to get a brain before it's too late and come back, there's still time for you. But you better hurry up because the door is closing. But even all you trash that are destined from the fire pit, you can still be saved. But you better choose now to stop being trash and start being a real Christian and man up, grow a pair, because you ain't going to make it through this tribulation if you can't even be a man or woman now when it's not that difficult. You're not going to make it. Christianity is not for the weak. It is not. But you can't do it without Christ. Humans can't do it. You are only strong in and with Christ. Without him, you will never stand a chance. You cannot make it. So have Jesus the center of your life. It's really not that hard. I mean, he's not asking that much right now. We got it easy in America still. Right now, we don't have much time left. But we are not in those third world countries having people kicking our doors down, raping and killing us, and chopping our heads off for being Christian. Right now, I can't tell you about next week. It's coming. But right now, and the Lord made this clear to me in 2011 when I complained to him. I said, Lord, why did you not let me live 100 years earlier? It was easier 100 years ago to preach the gospel. People listened. There was morals and ethics. It was easy. It was like common sense. It was normal to be a Christian. And he said, not directly, but in his way, don't complain. I put you here during this time in history because I created you and equipped you with gifts and talents for this time in history that you did not need 100 years ago. You are here for now, not then. Okay? I need you here now. And don't complain because you're in America right now and you're not suffering persecution and martyrdom like your brothers and sisters are in Asia, in Africa, in India, in the Middle East. So don't complain. You got it easy, Stephen. You could walk out that door right now and go into a mall and preach Jesus and not get arrested. Now, mind you, this is when I was 31. I'm 43 now. Try preaching in Jesus now in a public place and you're going to get arrested. But at the time, I could do it. And people would listen. And, like it wasn't outlawed. So it was, at the time I had and I was going all over the place preaching at the beach, handing out rosaries, scapulars, Bibles, and people ate it up. Now it is very hard. When I see people when I'm at the beach wearing my scapular and I don't have a shirt on, but I'm just wearing this, and they go, and the look of disdain on their face, like, what are you, Christian? What are you, a Catholic? Actually, I am. You should be one too, or you're going to hell. Have a nice day. I hope you have a lot of sunblock. That's why we don't like people like you. I'm just telling you the truth. But yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I'm not wearing this for you to identify me. I'm wearing this for God and His mother because I work for them. This is my mark. I'm their slave. I wear my collar. You belong to Satan. You think you're free. Satan makes you think you're free. You don't got to wear any of this. You don't need a cross. You can do whatever you want. Right? But you're not free. You're already in hell. You just didn't get there yet. I'm trying to stay out of there. This thing keeps me away, keeps demons away from me. It does. And people who are demonically influenced, they go berserk when they see this miraculous medal and scapular. Take that off, it's offending me. And they literally go crazy. And I'm like, whoa, dude, what do you got, rabies? Chill out. I'm not bothering you. I'm just walking down the street. I don't like that. Why do you got to wear? You don't have to wear it. Go away from me. I don't like you. Oh, it's your demons that are upset with this. That's what's bothering you. You don't even know why you're mad. It's the demons that are around you that are all pissed off about this. Good. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta finish my sandwich. It's late. I spent the whole weekend preaching. Even my priest told me I should take a break if I wanted to, he said. He didn't command me to. He just said, Steve, you've been under a lot of fire lately and anxiety and all this stuff from people attacking all these voices in your head from the Protestants and the Catholics, and you're ruffling. Maybe you should just get off the internet and stop preaching for a while. And I'm like, but Father, every time I say I'm going to do that, somebody messages me saying, no, I look forward to it, I need it, I'm learning from you, and it's like, and I feel like I have to do it, and I just feel this, and every time, like tonight, I wasn't going to touch my phone. I'm like, I'm not even touching that phone tonight. And all of a sudden, I'm like sitting here trying to eat my sandwich, and all this is coming like a supernatural download. Like, tell them. I'm like, oh, come on. I just want to eat my sandwich in peace. Fine. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. I'm like, I'm just going to make a 5-minute video. How do I say this short and sweet? It's never a 5-minute video. There's just too much to tell you. This is so important. And most people only watch a few minutes of these videos. They're not going to watch. They're missing it really gets good usually towards the middle or end, unfortunately, like 2 hours into it. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. I'm telling you as I'm hearing it. It's like kind of like telepathically being put in my brain and it's coming out my mouth. And as it's happening, I'm hearing it for the first time myself. Like, that's why I'll pause and I'll listen and I'm like, huh, never thought of it that way before. Okay. And then I say it because that's how it comes to me. It's like new revelation. I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I don't know what I am. I'm just a person who, but this is awesome. All right. I could be doing other things right. What would I be doing right now? Well, if I was like most people I know who are not Christian, I'd be at a bar drinking my paycheck away right now, drinking and driving, doing something dumb, hooking up with a hotel, playing video games, I don't know, watching horror movies. I mean, I think I chose the better part. I think it's much better and more wholesome for me to sit here and talk about Bible stuff that is important than go out there like the rest of the world who's not Christian and just live their life and go to hell like sheep to the slaughter. Blind, deaf, dumb, no clue where they're headed and what's coming. Because they're too busy drinking and smoking weed like the neighbor, and if you don't stop smoking that weed, I can't stand it. It comes through the window, and I got to breathe in the marijuana all day, all night, because these people want to sit here and get high all day long because they're retired, and that's what they do with their retirement. Sit there smoking weed and sitting on their porch like porch monkeys all day, all night, and that's what they do. And it's like, you have no life. They're not Christians. They won't go to church with me. All they do is sit there, drink, and smoke weed. That's what happens if you don't have something good to do with your life. Like Jesus on the brain. You're going to have pot on the brain, or sex on the brain, or porn on the brain. I don't have any of that stuff. I got to end this video. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I really want to eat my sandwich. Alright, it's like this, people. You are a vessel. You're like a cup. Okay? This is you. And if it's not filled to the brim with Jesus, the devil's going to fill it with everything that's going to sink you to hell. Okay? So you need to be filled with the Holy Spirit, which is very light as air. It's like helium. When you fill a balloon with helium, it floats up. When you fill a balloon with water, it sinks. Sin and all this worldly junk, it's like heavy fluid and that you're filling your vessel with, and it's going to bring you right down. Okay? If you empty it out, clean out your vessel, and fill yourself with the Holy Spirit, which is light as air, you're going up. An empty vessel is the devil's plaything. If your mind is empty, it's going to be filled with worldly trash. That's not good for anything but sending you to hell. And the devil has a field day. And you think you're living a good life. But you're so filled with nonsense that you don't have common sense or intelligence anymore. So you don't even realize that you think you have a good life, but you're going to hell and your life is stupid and it's a waste. You fill your head with the Bible and Jesus and morality and every good heavenly thing, it's going to be light as an air. And the point is, it's so filled, the devil can't fit anything in there that's going to drag you down. So keep your cup overflowing at all times, filled to the brim with Jesus and Christianity and the Word of God and with goodness. Otherwise, if you get any room in there for something else, we'll fill it. Nature abhors a void, and it will fill it with something. And if it's not filled with Jesus, the devil will fill it. Leave no room for him in your mind, your heart, your eyes, your flesh, your life, your vessel, or he will come in. It's a mathematical certainty. That's how things work down here. If you're so full with Jesus, there's no room for evil, sin, and the devil. If you're empty or half full, you're asking for trouble. I hope this made sense. Sometimes I watch my videos and I'm bouncing all over and I'm talking so fast and I'm going all over because the thoughts are coming so fast. I don't know which. Every subject goes down a different path, and there's like so many things to cover. I can't. There's no broad way of covering it all and making it make sense. It's like I should make multiple videos on each subject, but I forget. As fast as it comes, I forget. If I don't pick up the phone and stop what I'm doing and film right now, I lose it. I've tried it a million times, and if I wait an hour, I totally can't make the video because I totally forgot what I heard. So it's like now or never. And listen, if God's trying to tell me something or he wants somebody to hear something, you don't tell him, yeah, later, Jesus. I'm busy. I'm eating my sandwich. He's going to be like, I'm God. You do what I tell you. I say jump, you do it now. Now. Forget the sandwich. You're fat anyway. Feast on the word, not food. Stop feeding the flesh. I'm trying to teach you about eternal things, and you're worried about lunch. So, all right, he's always right. He is. I can't argue with him because he is right. And when the King of Kings wants you to do something, you do it. We got no problem gratifying the devil in the flesh, when we want something. But when God asks us to take some time to do something, oh man, what an inconvenience. So it's a bad attitude to have, and God forgive me, I have a bad attitude. But I get tired of this too. Like, I get bored and tired of the same old preaching all the time. I feel like it's only reaching a few people. And I guess if it helps those people get to heaven, job well done. But there's so many other people that should be listening to this, and they won't. And it's like I feel like I'm wasting my time, my energy. It's my only day off. I got to go to bed in a few hours and go back to work all week. And I have done nothing but church all weekend. Church videos. There's stuff I've been trying to get done. I didn't shave my face, or take my shower today. It's just been church videos. I took a nap today. I was so exhausted. But that's it. Like, I don't spend my weekends having fun like most people. Work hard, play hard. I work hard and I pray hard. I work hard and I work harder for the Lord on the weekend. And it's like, it never stops. But then I realize, I'm like, well, do I want to go to heaven or not? Then I must be like that Olympic gold medalist who's going to dedicate all their time to achieving the goal, to getting the goal. You've got to be the best. And you don't have much time to do it. So, why am I complaining that in between working and while I'm at work and when I'm not at work, it's all Jesus, 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 preaching, preaching, study, study, pray, pray, church, church, and then work, work, work. So it's 24/7. But that's how a Christian's supposed to be. I know that doesn't sound fun, but if you're doing it right, that's what it means to be in the world, but separate from the world. To live so radically different. You're not filling your time with the things that the rest of the world does. I'm not saying don't go on vacation once in a while, go to the beach, have fun. We all need a break. God did give us a beautiful world to enjoy, but in His way, a holy way, not like the world perverts it. I mean, go to the beach, but wear some darn clothes. You don't need a string bikini on. That's ridiculous. Like, you can still get a decent tan. Why are you tanning parts of your body nobody should be looking at anyway? And I don't think any respectable husband or wife would really be happy, especially no Christian, would be happy having their husband, wife, or son or daughter out there naked for the whole world to see. Like, I don't want my wife wearing string bikinis in the beach where everybody's looking at her. I saw a guy the other day. This girl literally, when I say string, it was a string. There was a patch no thicker than my thumb on the front of her, and the back was just thread. Not even, it was thinner than what do you know, no, thinner than a thong. It was like thread. It was like she was wearing nothing. And the top was just as bad. It just covered and the guy was laying there, and she didn't realize he was doing it. He's laying there like this, trying to keep people from looking at her privates. While she's laying there trying to get a tan, she has no idea she's going to have a handprint there because he's got his hands covering her because he can't stop her. He probably don't want to lose her. She's gorgeous. They were both good looking, but he don't want everybody looking at his girl like that. But he probably knows that if he says something to her, she'll leave him. Isn't that sad? That you can't even go to the beach with a girlfriend because she's got to dress like a whore. I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm a jealous man, and if you're with me, I don't want everybody looking at you. Like, that's just not right. And Jesus don't want anybody looking at his son or daughter either like that. Okay? So, there's a big difference between Christians and the rest of the world. So you need to be in this world, but stop being like them. I mean, what you do in the privacy of your own backyard, at your own pool, I suppose, is fine. But realize God and the angels and the demons are still seeing you. So, just realize everybody sees you no matter where you are. So, even if you're in your room, behave. Behave. Because you're always under surveillance. And with technology, they're always watching and listening even when your phone's off. So you're being watched by everybody. The Antichrist, the government, and God, and the devil. Everybody's got eyes on you. This whole world exists for you and I. We're the prize. There's a whole war going on in heaven and on earth over us. This whole thing started over Lucifer's fall and then Adam and Eve, making them fall. And ever since then, it's all been about us. God fighting for us. We're the prize. And there's a war raging, and we're the trophy. So, you know, when you realize that, don't make it harder, you know? Anyway, that's it. I know I said a lot. It's all biblical. It's all important. It's knowledge. It's truth. If you apply it, but most people won't listen to this. Why don't they listen to it? Because they're not at the level where they can accept it without getting offended. It makes them feel... Look, the word of God is like a two-edged sword, it says, to divide marrow from bone. It is supposed to be like a surgical instrument, cutting the sin and wickedness out of you and keeping the good. And so when you hear the truth this way, it's going to bother you when you go, oh, I do that, I do that. It's not to make you feel bad and condemned. It's to show you, okay, get better in these areas. These are the areas you need to work on. They've been exposed. Work on it. That's it. You got some time? Don't waste time, but work on it and get to heaven. It's not meant to make you feel bad, depressed, hopeless, and condemned, or fill you with fear. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm telling you what you need to hear, whether you like it or not. It's the truth. You want to go to heaven, you need to know this. And you need to not just hear it. You must implement it. Be in the world, but not like the world. Love God more than anything and anyone else in the world, even more than your own kids. It's just how it has to be if you want to make it. And if you want your kids in heaven, you got to get there too. Okay? So that's it. I'm concluding this video. And there's nothing really much more to say. Every real Christian already knows this in their heart of hearts. Especially if you read the word already, you know this. But they don't implement it. They don't live by it. It's easy to hear it. It's easy to preach it, but it ain't easy to practice it. Because the flesh, the world, and the devil gets in the way. You've got to be stronger than the flesh, the world, and the devil if you want to go to heaven. Be an Olympic gold medalist. Win. Win.